Introducing the new party. We live stream every Tuesday and Thursday p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I'm just in Mexico and I'm defending America. Because are you Mexican? Do you know where Mexico is? No, this ain't Mexico. It used to be Mexico, motherfucker. And now it's Phoenix, goddammit. I bet you don't leave here and go to Mexico, motherfucker. Go get you some chicken speech. Pinche cabrón. No, nigga, do you know where you at, nigga? USA! 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 I don't give a fuck! No, motherfuckers think they can live in this country and then still be allegiance to another fucking country. If you love another country more than you love America, motherfucker, then get to step into that bitch. For my Mexican American homies, Viva la Revolution! Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what's so you don't know what my family did for this country, bitch. You ain't did shit, nigga. Fuck, we were slaves, bitch. Y'all just work like that at the landscapers, motherfucker.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
I'm K-Dot.
Jay, you're muted.
Okay.
And this is Jay. He showed up. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm Jay. No, I'm here.
Shouts out to everybody in the chat. I want to thank KDOT for this partnership. Thank you to KDOT's fans and friends. We really appreciate you guys. And just a reminder, and we'll remind everyone at the end, please head over to TikTok to join KDOT's live. KDOT, can you let everybody know what your topics for tonight and where they can find you?
My topics tonight are going to be just a roundup of just recent events. We've got the trans ban. I know everyone wants to talk about that because everyone seems to know everything about trans people, even though none of them seem to know any of them in their actual life. So I'm going to entertain some of you guys and hear some of your horrible takes on what it means to be a trans person, and especially around the sports situation. And then we can also go over some more recent topics with executive orders and Elon Musk and his lies about where some of the money is going, and his tirade through the government as an unelected unelected official, and how many laws he's actually breaking while doing so.
Man, I gotta check that out. Where do we find you? Is dem_KDOT, right?
Dem_KDOT on TikTok.
Can you write that in the chat and then I'll put it up? I'm gonna start it. Thank you. Awesome. All right, guys. So Jay is here. I'm excited to see Jay back on a Thursday night. Tonight we're going to talk about first topic is going to be, should Black Americans support immigration in this country? Why or why not? And then we're going to get into some clips from Malcolm X and MLK. In that first clip that you saw, it was Cat Williams 2 nights ago. He was doing a live set, and him and guy in the audience were heckling, going back and forth. Pretty much, his stance was he's not feeling the debate on immigration. He's not feeling it. He feels like if you're in this country, you should support America. Gray, what's your thoughts on the clip?
What was the thing that he brought to the edge of the stage? Was that like a statue or something?
Yeah, it was like a giant urn or something.
So that was weird to me. I know for comedians, when they're on the stage and you get heckled, I know it's a lot to deal with. So I've seen Ari Spears actually in person when I went to a comedy show on a college campus. He just went off on a girl. He said some sexual stuff too because he was upset that they was telling him don't say some of the material. So I think Cat Williams went on a racist tirade because he saw the person was Mexican, so he used it against him. But I didn't know Cat was a MAGA or Republican or anything. I was shocked seeing that.
Well, shouts out to Gray. He got heckled before by a comedian, Marlon Wayans. Oh no, wait, that wasn't you. That wasn't you. It was somebody else. We had all went as a group of friends to go see Marlon Wayans, and they were sleeping, and he went off, and he's like, "Y'all look like y'all are on heroin. Why are you sleeping during my set?" And well, you weren't there that night. But yeah, KDOT, what's your thoughts on that clip? Was it too far? Was it offensive?
I think it was kind of a racist, kind of insensitive tirade. And is this something that recently happened? He just did this?
They said it was from 2 days ago. I'm almost positive because I have another friend that does podcasting, and she said it was recent.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't. I know Cat to kind of toe the line when it comes to patriotism. I've seen him talk about political things, and he never really takes a stance on one side or the other, but he has always been like, I'm an American type of kind of vibe. So I'm not surprised he said what he said. I'm not a big Cat Williams fan, but I mean, it is disrespectful to the Mexican people because, like I said, they always say, and I stand with them, they didn't cross the border crossed them through colonization. So as a person who stands up for the rights of my ancestors and who came here and suffered through colonization, who am I to tell somebody who was original native people of this land that this ain't, where they're from? So yeah, I'm not a fan of what he did at all. Lost a little respect in my book.
Jay,
okay.
your message.
Jay?
He has too much of an American mindset, because when you listen to what he said, if you're going to be here and still have allegiance to another country, no, you can have loyalty to your own culture, but not allegiance to Mexico itself. He has an American mindset where you have to be in this country and love this country. I just think it's it's just a difference in culture. You can be proud of your Mexican culture, which these people are doing. They're celebrating their culture and their people, but it doesn't mean they have allegiance to Mexico. They can still be proud to be Americans and still be proud to have their Mexican culture. It just gets lost in translation because America doesn't really have a culture like Mexico. America doesn't have a rich culture. If you ask me what American culture was, it would be very superficial, in all honesty.
Hmm.
I don't think America itself has a deep culture. Like if I moved to Germany, would I bring American culture there? Probably not. What would I bring? Football? Like in all honesty. So
I disagree. I
he's
think
trying
we
to
have a culture here.
What's
like
American
what?
culture?
Football games,
That's what he
That's
said.
what I
song,
said. What would I bring?
um,
Football?
Thanksgiving, apple pie.
You want to bring
Yeah, I mean,
Thanksgiving to admit to other people? You know the idea behind like it's not the nicest holiday to.
And they celebrate that in other countries already. They celebrate in Japan. They go to
Yeah, they
KFC.
do, but they
And
celebrate Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Mhm.
my bad. Matt in the chat said that clip was from 2011.
That
I
clip was
don't
from
think so.
2000.
It was recent. It was recent. But
It
yeah,
wouldn't
I
shock
think
me if he went on several tirades like that.
I think Thanksgiving is about family and love and being with, and celebrating your family, eating good food.
Well, now.
Well, you definitely know the history behind Thanksgiving. You can't take Thanksgiving over there, but the NFL is going to different places. But I mean, we can't just discount the NFL. I knew someone personally that was from Europe and said he was such an Eagles fan. He literally moved to the United States just to be able to go to Eagles games. So the NFL is the highest making money machine in the United States.
So that's
I
our culture.
forgot. Huh?
So that's our culture.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that's.
there's
I mean,
definitely like, you
mhm,
got the
sorry.
movies, you got comic books, you got
That's what I'm saying. It's all superficial. Our culture is just very superficial. It's all just media and entertainment is what we would bring. Like
so who would you say like has like great culture? Like what country?
I think most cultures that have like an older, deeper essence. Like I feel like um if you like that's what I think with too when people get lost in translation. Like when people how come you're allowed to have you know people aren't allowed to say, how come we're not allowed to say like white pride because that's like a pride in skin color, but people have no problem with just saying like Italian pride or German pride. Those are cultures that are richer and much older and have an essence where I feel like America, I'm not saying it's America's fault. We're just a very relatively new country compared to everyone else, and I just feel like our culture is very superficial. And I couldn't tell you in essence what American culture is. Um, I couldn't if I went to the country and asked me what's the essence like something of your culture. I'd be like, I don't know, like here's gangster rap and here's
I can tell you what
a football
American
game.
culture is. You know what
And
American culture is?
there you go.
American culture is the guy Homelander in the chat saying it's white culture, the culture that built the West. While he has a picture, I'm going to break this down to you. He has a picture of a character called Homelander as his profile pic. Homelander is a satirical
Yeah.
comment
Is he being ironic?
No, he's in the chat saying these things all the time, and he doesn't know that Homelander
he's doing
is
it
a
right now.
character. Yeah, he doesn't know that Homelander's making fun of him. He doesn't
Yeah.
know that. He doesn't know
Homelander's
that
making fun of
Homelander is a
Americans.
character making fun of right-wing far extremists from a show that's left-leaning. That's American white culture.
Y'all
Right?
haters.
So that
You gotta
doesn't
love the
cut
irony.
jokes.
Well, y'all gonna love this next clip. All right, so this next clip, I'm gonna let the clip speak for itself. Then, Gray, you better be honest tonight with what I'm about to play.
Okay.
I saw a video of a Hispanic man today saying that we don't need the support from black people because we got each other. We got Mexicans, Hondurans, Salvadorans, Nicaraguenses. He basically mentioned all Central America and said, we don't need you guys. If you guys can't support each other, how is it that we need your support? Or how is it that we're going to even get your support? Anybody who saw that video, I watched the whole thing. Anybody who saw that video that's black, I'm sorry. I'm wholeheartedly sorry. We don't all think like that. My heart has been filled with so much joy seeing the support from the black community because we're finally coming to realize that we are so much alike, that we need each other, that we need to support each other. That rhetoric that we should hate each other, now more than ever, we should see how alike we are and how we need each other and how we can succeed when we unite.
Okay. All right. Look, Gray, I'm gonna need you to be honest here, okay? I know you're surrounded by your people on the left,
Oh
but
my God.
what is your feelings on immigration as a foundationally Black American in this country? Should Black Americans unite with immigrants on this issue?
Well, from what she was saying, she was talking about Spanish immigrants, and if you look at the African diaspora, a lot of those people are of African heritage. Brazil got the most slaves more than any other country, so they have more people of African ancestry than anyone. So, if your question is like, should Black African Americans push for immigration, I would say no, because it's just not aligned with what's going on in America right now. But from a cultural standpoint, the Jewish people and the African people are only people that went through a diaspora. But if you look at the African diaspora, we're spread all around the world, especially if you're talking about the Caribbean and South America and the Americas countries.
All right. Jay, I know you're an ally for the Black community. So what do you think will it take for us to all unite? Do you think that we should be united? Do you understand the hesitancy for some Black Americans to do it? What's your thoughts?
Honestly, I think that racial division, and even to a point cultural division, is a tool that, and I hate using this as a boogeyman all the time, that the wealthy class uses to keep people divided. I think they enjoy stirring racial lines and enjoy enforcing them. And I just think that ultimately every working class person, regardless of culture, should be united, because ultimately we're the ones, regardless, Black, brown, white, working class people get screwed in this country more than anyone, more than any other specific culture. Working class people are the ones that get screwed. We're the ones that do the most work with the most output get the least amount back. And I think as long as racial divides exist, we're going to keep getting screwed. And I think the wealthy class, the people that empower in this country, enjoy those racial divides. And I think they stir them on purpose. And I think that as far as Black people feeling immigration, I know in the past, immigrants really did, regardless of what Donald Trump says now, but in the past, immigrants really did take Black jobs. But that's all over now. We're all in this thing together. We're all working class people, and every culture and every ethnicity of working class people is declining. Even white people are getting poorer. And I think that they enjoy this racial divide because we keep bickering about things that don't ultimately matter, when the people at the top just worry about one thing: success and money, and that's what they get. While we bicker over lines and over culture and just over race. And I think that's a tool that ultimately people in power use. And I think ultimately all working class people should support each other.
Okay, Dot, foundationally Black, but I know what you're going to say. What's your thoughts? Should we be out there on the picket lines?
With right now with the protests going on around the world.
Well, in America. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Around the world. I'm torn on this one. I'm gonna be honest with you, because we told Latin men to get out there and vote. We told Latin women to get out there and vote, and they let us down. They let us down. We told y'all what was going to happen, how they were going to treat y'all, what the plan was, and you still went out there. Damn near, what was it, like almost 50% of Latin men and like 43% of Latin women voted, and we missed it by just a little bit. We just needed a little bit more than that, and I don't know, man. I think I'm tired this time around. I'm tired.
Trump won the Hispanic vote.
He won.
Trump won the Hispanic vote. Yeah,
I
agree with you.
The male vote. He didn't win the female vote.
He didn't win the female vote, except for Black people, except for Black men. He didn't win Black men.
He didn't win Black men.
I'm talking about the Hispanic vote. Trump won the Hispanic vote.
He won males across the board except for Black men.
Yeah, he won. Yeah, so he got the Hispanic male vote, the Hispanic woman vote. I think 43% went to him, or something. It was close to like 50. I might be wrong about that. Maybe in the 30s. But we told y'all and told y'all and told y'all over and over again. And I think I'm just kind of right now, after this time, I don't want what's happened to my Hispanic brothers and sisters, whether they be Mexican or some other form of, Southern American or anywhere else around the country going through what they're going through. But like I said, right now I'm a little tired. So no, I don't want to be.
I get it.
I respect that. I get that.
Yeah.
Slim, you came
85.
to come
I've
save
never been so
Laura.
happy to see you.
We
Never
were
been
riding
so
like a
happy,
pack of
friends.
hyenas.
Hey, you already know what it is. hey, y'all gonna get on my girl when she by herself, but I ain't gonna let y'all
No,
go
they
there
were
like that.
nice.
Oh,
Hold on,
okay.
keep this energy. It was a good energy. It was a good energy. It was a good
Yeah.
vibe. We were getting along, but I couldn't really,
That's good. That's
We're
what I
not the
want to
ones.
hear.
We're
for
not
the
the ones that
MAGA.
attack.
For the first time, I got you. For the first time.
Not me. They like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's love.
But
That's love.
85, where we're at right now is it's a big thing on the internet. It is trending. That people are calling out Black Americans and saying, especially Foundation Black Americans in particular, saying you guys need to unite with the immigration cause. With particular Hispanic Americans have been calling it out, saying let's unite and let's support, picket, go out there. And I'm going to play clips next of the protests, but I want to get your opinion first on it. Do you think that Black Americans should unite? I know you don't like race stuff, but it is the topic.
No, I don't think so. I think let the man do his job. I mean, I'm going to stand on that no matter
Every time,
what.
same answer.
Let the man do his job and allow the country to get back to where it needs to be. Do I have empathy for some people? Absolutely. But, how do you not get deported? Stop sneaking over the border. That's it.
Well, I'm gonna play this clip, but before I do that, let me tell everyone the argument that they're having. The argument that they have, and you've heard it 85 on our TikTok live, is they feel that they are the indigenous people to this country because prior to the Mexican or the Spanish War, whatever happened with Texas, that was considered Mexico. So how can you deport someone that is indigenous here? That's why I bring up the Mexicans, because that is the biggest argument that they're having. I'm going to play the clip first of the protest and then we can respond, but to give you background on why they're so fired up.
The people united will never be divided. United will never be divided. People united will never be divided.
At one point there was Mexico, and at one point they deported millions of Mexicans, and at one point now they want to call us illegals. We are not illegals. We are indigenous people to the land. The first one to the
Ooh, okay. So,
My heart is so warm right now.
yeah, a lot going on in those clips. Jay, most of those clips were in California. So, are you seeing any
yeah.
protests anywhere? What's going on?
Honestly, I saw my first ICE raid the other day go down. I was driving home and it was an auto body shop, and I've never been more heated in my entire life. I feel like I'm just gonna tell you what I feel. I think I speak about Californians as well. I feel in California we feel that Mexicans are welcome and ICE is not. You're invading our culture. Like this is Mexico has such a Spanish itself, the language too, has such a richer history in California than English does. And it's so ingrained in California culture. It's not even considered Mexican culture. It's just part of our culture. And the other day I went down a street. I live in a town called Pomona. It's like in eastern LA County, and it's usually full of street vendors. I love it. Every week I go grab my tacos, and it was empty. And I've never been so angry in my life. Like, why are you why are you coming here messing with our culture to affect your agenda? And I just think the vibe in California is, we feel like we're being invaded, like a Gestapo style invasion. Is really what it is, because you're affecting with not the culture of Mexico. In our minds, it's the culture of California as well. And Mexico, yeah. So the comment was just Mexico colonized this land, but most Mexicans are of indigenous descent. They're mestizos. So most Mexicans are of indigenous descent. And I feel like all indigenous people have a birthright to North America.
85. Remember when we were on that live yesterday, what that man said to you? He said, for every one of you guys, there's 5 of us, and y'all about to find out. Didn't he say that on the live with us?
Oh yeah.
He called him an Oreo too.
he was some type of Indian tribe though. He mentioned some Bukawuki or something like that.
No, but he's Mexican American.
Oh, didn't he say something from the Bukawuki, or I'm from the Bukawuki tribe or some crazy shit like that? I'm telling you, he mentioned something like that. I got scared when he said that. But hey, check it, right? Here's the problem with the whole deportation thing. Number one, it's normal, okay? We did not see this when Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. Barack Osama, did the whole deportation thing, okay? He has the biggest deportation record in the books right now, and we did not see this. Why are we seeing this now when he's the one who deported most Mexicans across the border in his term? Why are we seeing these protests today?
Because Trump uses deportations as a propaganda piece.
Trump uses deportation to the propaganda piece. You don't think that
He's
Wait,
all about the
another point I want to say about Trump and the deportations. He's literally only deported 7,000 people, guys. That's like nothing. That's not like a mass deportation.
If he wants to deport people who are here illegally due to the way the law, fine. But the way he's doing it is wrong. Those ICE warrants aren't even signed by judges. They violate people's rights. They have rights while they're here.
Our job we've been told not to cooperate with ICE, and I've never been like more proud.
It's not legal. He's not legally doing it. And as Matt pointed out in the chat, Obama did that over 8 years. He deported the most people over 8 years, 3 million people. If you split that up over 8 years, 4 and 4, he would be at the bottom of the list with Trump at 1.5 each. This is not he just had longer to do it, and he deported people who were here illegally. He didn't send out the fucking ICE Gestapo and these mobs to go grab people up who are here legally, because they tried to deport a family already. They tried to deport a veteran. This is not,
the big word is try.
This is not, but they're violating these people's rights.
At this rate, we will have 1 million people at the end of 4 years. Barack Obama did 5 million. Like, where's the outrage? It's the outrage is because
no outrage
you guys
he deported people who were here illegally. He deported people who broke the law. He did it through the right channels.
Trump is not deporting people who've been here. He's deporting the criminals.
Let me finish. He's deporting people through illegal means. This ICE raid shit, they can pull up and just ask you questions and do this executive order, is a violation of Americans' rights.
You know what's a violation? Crossing the border is a violation.
No, it's not.
Illegal.
No, it's not.
It's illegal, but it's not a crime.
It's not a crime, right?
Crossing the border is not a crime. If
you cross,
are you guys serious?
Look it up right now.
That's the first crime they committed. Everything else is on top.
Look it up right now. It's not a crime.
What the hell are you talking about?
It's a civil violation. It's a civil violation.
This man, I feel you. Listen. Don't get me started.
It's not a crime.
Well,
I understand how dedicated you guys are to the left, but again, man, you guys be on like excluding logic from life, and that's
You
Y'all
what
don't
exclude logic.
pisses
listen
Your
me
to
only
off.
logic is
logic.
Trump's
You don't
words.
listen to
Look it up
logic.
right now. It's not
Bro,
a crime.
bro,
We
listen.
literally just said that.
It's a
Crossing the
civil
if I go
violation.
to Mexico and I cross the border illegally, I can't come back here.
Yes, you can. I do it all the time.
How?
See,
How?
here's the
I
difference.
don't have
Illegal.
if
Here,
I
know
don't
what?
have
I
my
looked it up.
passport
No,
and
I
I
looked it
go
up.
over there without letting them know, it's a
I go
wrap.
with my ID.
I looked it up. Illegal entry into the U.S. is a federal crime. Illegal entrance into the U.S. is a federal crime. You can cross the border legally, as in I walked into the country, claimed asylum, or I'm here to do some other. That is
We
not a
playing
crime.
semantics now.
We're following the law. You guys call it semantics. It's the law. If you just wandered into any country, no, I said if you just wandered into anyone's country and any country and didn't report, yes, you're breaking the law now. But the vast majority of the people who come here through a legal port of entry, claim asylum, whatever the claim is. Most of them do that.
What's the legal port of entry? The open border?
There's no open border. The border's never been closed. What are you talking about?
Where are we?
So why are people paying $25,000 to have a coyote bring them through?
Because they can't make it on their own through the wilderness.
Because they should.
Because they're coming over illegally.
No,
let's just come by the plane.
Okay,
They'll be fine.
listen, guys, listen.
Holy
if
moly.
I paid somebody $25,000 to bring me from the top of America down to the border of Mexico, listen, if I paid somebody to take me from one side of my country down to a border of another country, and I walked into that country and said, I'm here seeking asylum based off of political reasons, whatever, right? I did not break their laws if they have asylum laws. If somebody comes from the bottom southern tip of Mexico and pays $100,000 to get here, and they walk into America and go, hey, I'm seeking political asylum, that is not breaking the law. They did not break the law doing that. End of story.
If they got that bread, they can use it to build it.
You understand? A lot of these people are lied to by coyotes as well. They're promised a lot of things that they don't get.
Great. You didn't even get a chance to go. What do you think about the protest? Is it American? Is it un-American? Like, what's your thoughts as someone that's put on a uniform and served this country?
What I would say is something more recent. I talk to these indigenous people on TikTok all the time. And we tried to bring one on the show. She didn't show up. And I tried to explain to her is this. You're not going to win like trying to go against the American government. I feel like if you have this political movement, actually try to like get politicians elected of Mexican descent in these predominantly Mexican areas where you can pass local or try to pass state laws and try to talk about this indigenous thing. I have only recently heard people of Mexican descent try to make some comparison, and Jay, you may be able to elaborate on this, make some kind of comparison of that they are similar to Native Americans. I've only heard that recently. In 36 years of my life, I've never heard that till recently.
Well, like I said earlier, I think it comes back to that most Mexicans are mestizos. They're of indigenous descent. They're descendants of, Europeans and indigenous people mixing. I won't say voluntarily or not, but there's of them mixing.
Okay. Well,
that's where the belief comes from. The most Mexicans, I think almost 90% Mexicans are mestizos of indigenous descent.
Okay, makes sense. Well, now I understand more as far as the indigenous movement where they feel like they're Native Americans.
And also, too, one thing I kind of can't stand, this is a little slightly off topic, is the right is so Christian, and over 90% of Mexicans are Christians, and then let's just round up our own people and just toss them out. It's like I just think it's so fake.
Yes, but there are people that are coming here through the border unnoticed and committing crimes, and that's the problem. That's the number one concern is
Americans
safety.
commit crimes at way higher rates than immigrants do. So if it's a problem, I feel like we're just blowing up a small problem just for no
small
reason.
problem.
Well, now Marco Rubio's for deporting American prisoners. Now, did you guys see that?
No, those guys can get
say their
deported though.
names.
The Americans,
a lot of problems.
No, that's it. There's Marco Rubio
and also
now wants to
a lot of gangs have been coming here. Like that's the other thing, like that they're concerned about the crime that's happening. And yes, even if one American gets stopped from getting unalived, then I'm happy. There were so many young women and women that were raped, robbed, stolen from and from illegal people that crossed over, kept coming back and forth between the border, and you can't say it doesn't exist. It does. So yes, we will impact the citizens of this country that commit crime. Yes, they commit crime. We're aware of that. But first is getting out the illegal ones. Then we will focus on the ones that are from here. And Trump has all of that in his plans. So one good thing I'm happy that he's doing. But at the same time, as a child of immigrants, I do have empathy. I pray that those that did do things the right thing way, did do things legally, can have a path to citizenship, because we are a country of immigrants. But the problem is we needed to clean up the problem. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Anything else y'all want to add on this before we go to the next topics?
Don't let Jay Herm fool you. Even though he's a huge leftist, his best friend is Volker, the most red pill person on the cast.
Oh, I don't know how that's his best friend. I love you, Volker, but I don't know.
We somehow we see we connect.
You guys connect. Okay, I got you. I'm just kidding, guys. Yeah, and Mulatto, if you want me to put your post up, you need to pay for a super chat, honey, because some of these things that you're saying about against my friend Jay Homer is a little bit much. He's a citizen, and even if he wasn't, let's be nice, okay? These are people too. We can say our points without being nasty. Anyways, let me play this next clip. We're gonna get into the main topic of the night about MLK and Malcolm X. Let's watch this clip where it talks about MLK asking for reparations, pretty much. Mulatto, I played this clip for you, honey, because I know you're big on the reparations topic. K-Dot, what's your thoughts on reparations? I know you're a very big proponent for, your people being affected by slavery and different things in this country. So do you think Black people are owed it?
Yes. That's it.
Does that just include Black Americans or the entire diaspora? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't even know what it would take to just pay individuals and how it would go down. But as far as reinvesting directly into the Black communities you destroyed, the areas where Black people are affected the most, yes, that means people who were there from different cultures are going to come up too. But was the saying, a rising tide floats all ships, or whatever it is. I'd like however it goes. So but that it needs to be corrected. My people gave free labor for hundreds of years in this country, and were promised education. They were promised money. They were promised 40 acres and a mule. They were told they'd be able to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And every time it happened, and every time we followed the rules and played the game, they moved the chessboard, they reset the timer, whatever you want to call it, and they stole from us more and more over the years and built upon it. So yeah, y'all got to figure this out, and y'all got to pay us.
We have our first super chat of the night. I want to thank Southern. She's a friend of the show. Southern said, "Why are people fleeing their amazing cultures and countries?"
Sure
Jay, do you want to answer that? Because, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure that's for Jay, right?
Yeah, that's for Jay.
Why are people fleeing their amazing culture and countries? One, you can't flee your culture. You can always take your culture with you. That's the one thing you can't flee. And the United States of America has been systematically exploiting Latin America for decades, and we act shocked that people want to come here. We've been systematically interfering in the governments. We've overthrown democratically elected leaders and installed dictators. The United States of America does that. We installed dictators in Panama. We installed dictators in Argentina. We installed dictators in Chile. That's what the United States of America does. We take democracy from other people and we install dictators. We installed the Shah of Iran, and then we get mad that they have a revolution of our leader that we installed. Like, the United States of America is such a hypocritical entity. That's why the people come here, because we exploited their cultures to the point where they have to come here.
She said, but if American culture is so horrible, why come here?
But people don't come for the culture. They come here to have a chance to have food, to have a job, and that's not culture. Like, you're separating American economics, which we've taken, blood over fist, and comparing it to culture. It's not the same thing. People are bringing their culture with them when they come here. They're not fleeing it. They love it still. That's one thing you're not getting, and I don't understand why. You're making one thing another.
Trips me out when Black people say these sentiments. It really does.
85. Do you think that the success of America is a culture thing? Like, why are we great? Why do they want to come here if it's so terrible? Like, because I have to disagree. I think our culture has to do what makes us great. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I'm the same way. I mean, that's America. Don't get me wrong, I can't agree with everything that America is on the pedestal for. I'm not going to sit there and say I'm 100% in agreement. But I will say is we are the strongest country out there. And I don't have a problem with people wanting to come here. I just have a problem with people coming here illegally, just as any country should have that problem. I don't believe in reparations. I don't believe in none of that stuff. I don't believe it. I don't believe in handouts. None of that. That's what destroys the mindset. That's what destroys the country. So at the end of the day, I believe in hard work, perseverance, and I believe everybody's equal to do it the same way or however they got to do it. We got the same 24 hours. Nobody is better than nobody. And handouts just put you in a different mindset, man. If a woman on Section 8 is getting rent from the government and she's used to that, she ain't going to be wanting to get up and start her own business, of course, because daddy taking care of the bills. Like we gotta get away from that handout stuff, bro.
I support reparations. Gray, is there anything you want to add?
I think this is a perfect segue because we're talking about American culture and everything like that. Then we played a clip of Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King saw something wrong with the country he was born in, and he followed Mahatma Gandhi and followed his path of how to change his country. So people have the right to say what's wrong in their country, and maybe we'll look back on this 20 years from now and say, oh, wow, we can't believe we did this to immigrants. Now we're a global whatever. So I do feel like Black people deserve some type of income, but I feel like as far as real solutions and having humanity for people, the government is always going to look at what's best economically and for their own selfish needs as individual politicians. And we, the people, and just like Martin Luther King, who was not a politician, didn't have any type of power, but made a difference in his country and changed the country forever.
And he representing Republicans. I want to throw that out there too.
Progressive Republican.
Guys.
Progressive Republican.
Let's not forget he was a socialist.
He was a socialist.
I'm about to share something about Martin Luther King.
No. Just tell the whole truth, bro. He was a progressive Republican.
He was a socialist.
He was a socialist. Republican. This is the first time I'm hearing
Martin Luther King,
I know he was a conservative.
If Martin Luther King came out, if Martin Luther King was here right now today and registered as a Republican and said the values that he had right now, you guys would call him a rhino or some undercover shit. You would throw him out of the party.
Yeah, he would also look at LeBron James, Steph Curry, and all these big time dudes. Like, how much money y'all dudes is making? Reparations? What?
No, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But good try.
Yeah, I know.
He famously quoted as saying, "America has socialism for the rich and harsh capitalism for the poor."
Right.
Well, this past 2 weeks since Trump was in office, he signed something to release declassified documents, and some of the documents have been coming out. Again, I'm not saying this is true or not. We can talk about it. But one of the things that came out, and I'll tell you why I don't necessarily believe it, some of it, but pretty much what came out, as you guys can see on the screen, is they're alleging that MLK hosted workshops in Miami, Florida in February 1968. And it was to train Black ministers in urban leadership. And while doing so, they had like an orgy. Okay, that's the best way I can put it. And they paid for prostitutes. There's also a clip of they're alleging that they forced a woman to participate. As you guys can see on the screen, have you guys heard about this, and what's your thoughts?
The fact that Trump wanted to try to talk about what somebody else was doing in their sex life when we know he was with a porn star is shocking. And I feel like he said, okay, it's dirt on my name. I'm going to take one of the most prestigious, honorable men, and it will put a stain on his legacy because they made me look bad and aired out my dirty laundry with all the women I was messing with and that I was hanging out with Epstein. So I'm going to ruin other people's legacy. Wow. That's what I think.
I mean, when he's right, he's right.
Wow. 85, what's your thoughts?
I totally disagree. I believe Martin Luther
Shocking.
King's don't be shocked because I'm gonna keep it G with you. At the end of the day, Martin Luther King's legacy was tainted during the last 4 years when they basically brought all that stuff up because he was a Republican about him having problems with Coretta. This been coming out with the people. The people been tainting his legacy for the last 4 years. So don't act like this is the orgies. No, they already messed him up when they found out that he was a Republican. Oh, sorry, K-Dot, progressive Republican. They already messed up his legacy a few years ago during the whole fake Biden and Kamala Harris scenario. And you talk about installed, Jay. Kamala Harris was installed. Nobody voted for this chick to run for president. Nobody. And the Democrats have been installing people for the last
Republicans
20,
have the same
30
procedure.
years.
If it's too late for a primary, Republicans have the exact same procedure. The delegates vote to who to nominate. Right. Republicans have the exact same procedure.
At the end of the day, Trump won again. Period. The people spoke. We have to let the
less than half
do
of the
his
people.
job.
Let's emphasize it.
Here we go. They still spoke. We didn't go at y'all for 4 years and do whatever.
You did.
Yes,
you denied the results of an election for 4 years
because it was stolen.
No, it wasn't stolen.
Okay.
You guys,
time out. Even though Trump's in office, we can't say that on here. No cap. I don't care when we're on Rumble. You can say whatever.
Hear me out. Don't tell me that, Doc, because in 2016 we went through the same thing for 4 years with Hillary.
No one cared what Hillary had to say. No one cared. No one believes that.
All right, but Hillary kept saying
no one believes that. It doesn't matter. No one believes that.
Colluded with Russia. My question.
No. Oh, look. Bad logic.
Oh Lord.
Bad
See, they messing with our signal. No, they do that. No, seriously, we can't talk about the COVID or election. Like, no, seriously, because I think they're messing with the signal.
Okay.
You can't so 85. I love you, but when we go on that show next week, you can say that. But YouTube is really
YouTube
is really funny. Yes, please say that.
We love you.
But 85, I love you, but we can't say that. But I hear your point. I hear your energy. You have a good point. K-Dot, do you believe what I put up on the screen? I didn't make this up. It is a real document that came out.
No, those aren't the real files. No. The guy who actually went over the real files, I was refreshing my memory. His name's like Mark something.
So where'd I get that from?
Luke. It's just things that get passed around on the internet, man. Every time one of these guys take these documents, JFK. How come? Let's think about this, right? Where did you get that document from? Twitter, X.
Let me say this. I do believe that it could be real. I don't necessarily think it's true because Dexter, this is what I was going to say. J. Edgar Hoover was lying on a lot of the black leaders at that time. So that's what I'm saying. I do believe it's real, though. I don't believe it's fake. I don't believe it's doctored. I think that they could have that.
That would be fine too, but I don't like I said, there's no evidence of any of these things happen. They lied on that man.
Right, I understand that.
For hundreds, well, not hundreds of years, but they've lied on the man for years, decades and decades. I'm over it. I'm tired of every time black people make some headway in this country where they're secretly gay or some other conspiracy theory. There's conspiracy theories that Hoover was a cross-dresser or whatever the hell you want to call it. Sorry if that's an ignorant term. But he was undercover or something like that, however the kids say it. And, no one wants to spread this knowledge around or spread that information around because he's supposed to be regarded as some masculine figure. But every time there's a black man who's, it has some sort of power or some sort of, just made headway in this country. He's gay, he's this, he's that, whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but they do it to tear people down. And J. Edgar Hoover and his fucking documents can go to hell. Excuse my language, but I don't believe it for 1 second. And I really would like, because also I don't know if these are like, you could go to these documents when they're actually released from like the White House like website. You can go get them. So I don't know where exactly this document came from. I'm going to look into it more myself. And if they're in there, if they're in there, they're in there. But I don't believe any of that shit at all.
You gotta keep in mind too that it was literally the FBI's job not necessarily to bring down black leaders, but bring down potential communists and anyone they thought could be a communist. They had to slander, they had to badmouth, they had to tear down.
Mm-hmm.
And they believed that Martin Luther King was a communist. They definitely thought Malcolm X was a communist.
Well, I'm going to play his clip next. Gray, anything to add, dear? Do you believe it's true?
No, I had already said I was the first one that went that Trump did it to
And
disparage.
his was
Oh
the
yeah,
best
yeah. I'm
response,
sorry.
by
I
the
just
way.
want to make
Yeah,
sure I'm not skipping you. All right,
yeah.
guys. This is the clip from Malcolm X. Let's see what he has to say about white liberals.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to. But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling. And you take him for a
There are
friend.
many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly. And therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chop in his plate.
I'd like to point out, though, that...
And I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro.
On the other hand, I think one could point to a large number of whites who have struggled for civil rights, for equality, and had got little or nothing out of it, other than quite a few bruises.
Give me an example.
Well, the large number of white students who have gone into the South, for example, working for SNCC and other organizations.
Not working for SNCC or other organizations, but working for the white political machines who benefit by the voting efforts of Negroes.
Okay. Today, you could point to a large number of Negro leaders who have consistently betrayed Negroes in a whole host of areas.
They aren't really Negro leaders. These are puppets that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals. These are parrots that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals. You can't name me a Negro leader who has betrayed Negroes, who has not been endorsed, sanctioned, subsidized, and supported by the white liberals. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives. The American Negro is nothing but a political football, and the white liberals control this ball through tricks or tokenism, false promises of integration and civil rights. In this game of deceiving and using the American Negro, the white liberals have complete cooperation of the Negro civil rights leader, who sell our people out for a few crumbs of token recognition, token gains, token progress. In the New York Tribune, in an editorial dated February the 5th, 1960, they pointed out that out of 11 million qualified Negro voters, only 2,700,000 actually take time to vote. This means that, roughly speaking, only 3 million out of the 11 million Negroes who are qualified to vote take an active part. And the remaining 8 million remain voluntarily inactive. And yet it is this small minority, the 3 million Negro voters, who help determine who will be the next president.
Wow. So, are Gray, is the white liberal a friend or foe to the black community?
Everything in that video is true, but in today's world, just change the word liberal to white MAGA. Because now the black MAGA people are pretty much being hoodwinked. Let's talk about Tim Scott. Tim Scott, if you go back and you look at all the clips of the RNC, right? They go up there and they say over and over, racism doesn't exist. Racism doesn't exist. What Trump did was, I'll give him this, he was a genius. He showed Black MAGA, hey guys, you guys can be masculine. You can come over here with me. I got a bunch of baby mamas. I got a bunch of charges. I'm in court. We can rock out. Trump went and got rappers with chains on. He went and got street rappers and put them on the podium. He went and got Kanye. So, yeah, that's true. But in today's world, it's completely flipped. And Trump, look at Slim. He over there celebrating. He went and got the Black people. So a lot of Black people that voted for him. So, yeah,
I respectfully disagree. I think that when leading up, and we did a video on this, Gray, leading up, they were trying to use all the white liberals leading up to this election to shame Black people into voting for Trump. And I mean, voting for Biden or Kamala. Well, first was Biden, then Kamala. Even Charlemagne said, oh, you ain't Black if you don't vote for Kamala. Chelsea Handler calling up 50 Cent, telling him, you better vote for Biden at the time, like trying to manhandle him. Like, who are you? We can vote for whoever we want to vote for. 85, what's your thoughts to what he said?
I love Malcolm. That's the GOAT, man. Like, yo, if my people would really take his words, man, and listen to what he was telling us, this is why they unalived the brother. It was too much truth. It was too much power. It was too much keeping it G with these liberals. And today he would be calling out Mr. Barack Obama because he is the puppet that he was mentioning.
He would hate Trump, though.
So, yeah. Oh, of course. He probably would. He probably would hate Trump, but he would.
Because you know who the wolves are, right?
No, I don't agree with that.
Trump.
Louis
Respect
Farrakhan
Trump.
likes Trump. Louis Farrakhan likes Trump, and he's the leader of the Nation of Islam now.
The wolves are
said,
analogy, right?
Hold on, I ain't finished, liberal J.
Sorry.
Let me finish, Brody. We just saw Malcolm. Let my boy cook now. Nothing you can tell me about X. Nobody can talk bad about X. Black, white, liberal, Republican. You can't talk bad about X.
What president did Malcolm X endorse?
I don't know. Don't care.
Oh, wow.
It would probably be Kennedy, if anything.
And Kennedy was what?
Kennedy was white. And he was
what was
liberal.
he?
Yes, he was
a liberal.
Yes,
a white liberal. Okay. Right.
And he was the last real liberal. That's why they unalived him.
Right.
Because he wouldn't go with the agenda. That's why they unalived
What agenda?
him. Oh, the agenda that you're indoctrinated in.
What agenda? What agenda? What agenda?
Believing what you believe agenda today.
What do I believe? What do I believe?
You're caught.
What do I believe?
Set up, done.
You believe? I have an agenda, right? So let's put this right. Let's put it this way, right? You believe everything.
You got smoked today, bro.
You believe everything. No, I get smoked by nobody.
I got the recording.
Never.
We got the recording. We're playing it.
You know what y'all consider?
10 p.m.
You know what y'all consider smoke? The only reason y'all consider me getting smoke is because someone opened their fairy tale book and said the imaginary man in the sky told me that this is wrong, so it's the truth. That's what happened. And then all of you went, ooh, you got smoked because of you got smoked because
you was on that aggressive stuff talking to those women.
Y'all told me I have. Then y'all, it's funny as hell that y'all say people have mental illness when y'all talk to an imaginary man in the sky. That's called schizophrenia. You don't know what you're doing. But anyway, moving on.
You didn't get smoked regarding.
I gotta get the Bible out. I rebuke this in the name of Jesus. I rebuke that.
Y'all like to harp on one thing.
You ain't get.
But y'all never like to talk about how he says the white conservative is just as dangerous. He says both things, but y'all like to hang on the one sentence.
Hold on, you ain't get smoked regarding. Hold on, Jay. You ain't get smoked regarding the fairy tale. You got smoked because you was going at a female the wrong way.
How did I go at a female the wrong way?
I got the video. Yo, great.
What did I do?
We have the wait. Time out. For everybody watching, if you would like to see the live, we have it up today. It's gonna be premiering at 10 p.m. So shouts out to K Dot. He was pretty even keel. I don't want to just say he got smoked, but he took a lot of smoke today. I don't want to say he got smoked. Smoke is like you got killed, but he did take a lot of smoke.
Never.
He took a lot of smoke.
Hey, he stayed on business though. That's why I respect the guy. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter our differences. I gotta respect somebody who stand on what they believe in. That's where I'm at with it. But at the same time, you can't make me believe what you believe in, vice versa.
I'm not trying to.
But let Jay go. I know Jay.
Yeah, let's
Sorry, Jay.
Go ahead, Jay.
I think we missed the point of view a little bit. His issue with white liberals is that they're capitalists. And the wolves in the analogy were white conservatives. He said that he respected the white conservative because at least he knew that they hated them. He called the
Right.
white liberal fox because he hated them and pretended to be his friend. And his issue with white liberals was nothing to do with social views. It was simply that they were capitalists. And he felt that capitalism, regardless, is meant to keep black people down. That's what he was
Okay.
getting across. That's what he meant. Because Malcolm X was not a supremacist. A lot of people think he's a black supremacist. He was a black separatist only because he felt that the economy had moved too far along in white people's favor and black people could never fairly catch up. So he believed in starting their own socialist government because he felt that it simply had moved too far and it was impossible. And not only for black people, he believed that it moved too far for most working class people to catch up. So that's the analogy. He wasn't calling out white liberals for their social views. He was calling them out because he thought they were fake because they still projected capitalism on black people. And that's what it was. I think that's what a lot of people missed.
I got a question for all the liberals, Jay, K-Dot, and Gray. Lyndon B. Johnson, what did he mean?
I got that clip next. Wait, I got that clip next. That's the final last thing of the night.
Okay, well,
let me play it and we'll close out because K-Dot has to get going. This is the final clip. It is from Lyndon B. Johnson. I want you guys to listen and we can talk about it after and give closing thoughts.
Most offensive word in the racist dictionary. The conversation is with the Texas political operative, Philip Kazin.
You tell old Charlie and Chick and Abraham, all of them hello for me. God bless you and thank you so much. Tell me, wait a minute, I want to know, how did the vote go? How many did you have in Webb County? The vote? Yeah. There was 10,639 to 1,039. Good God Almighty, you're going to be teaching these niggers how to vote. Ain't that one fool?
Then there is this LBJ, November 5th, 2 days after the election, on the phone with Adam Clayton Powell and then Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., two of the country's best-known black leaders.
I remember many years ago when you said that I rather trust that man and a lot of others. And that's right. That was the first nigger that ever said it. Well, you're the first one I've talked to. I just wanted you to know I was thinking of you. All right, thank you. I never forget what you said many years ago. That's right.
The next call he made was to Dr. King.
Hello? Doctor?
Yes, Mr. President.
Well, I just wanted to tell you that how mighty proud I was of a lot of folks last Tuesday.
Yes, well, we are certainly all very happy about the outcome. It was just such a great victory. And I certainly appreciate your calling. We have some bright days ahead, I think.
Well, it was a great tribute to the intelligence and the judgment, the patriotism of the Negro people that they couldn't mislead them and they couldn't fool them. And
well, good. And again, let me congratulate you and say what a great moment we think this is for our country. It was a great victory for the forces of progress and a defeat for the forces of retrogress. And I think we have some great challenges and opportunities ahead, and we're all with you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much. I just want to give you a ring.
So yeah, like I said in the chat, shout out to K-Dot and Jay. Y'all are my favorite leftists, like that are probably my only real leftist friends in real life. So glad to have met you guys. And I want to be clear, I really do like K-Dot. I think he's a good person. I just can't get with some of the leftist things. But other than that, I really do. I genuinely like K-Dot. That's the crazy part. And I genuinely like Jay. So come on, guys. We're here to learn. K-Dot, that was a very hard video when I first watched it. I was laughing because of something in the chat. So I apologize for laughing. It was poor timing. But it was probably the worst thing a president can say about his own American people. Well, one of the worst things. I know others have said worse, but it was hard to listen to. And he was a nasty person. What do you think? Despite all the nasty things he said, I guess he did do a lot of good. So what's your thoughts?
He's racist. I'm not surprised that a white man from that time period referred to black people that way, said horrible things about people of color. Where I don't know if he only talked about black people in these clips. I'm sure he said worse about other people of color. So the whole, we still voted for Lyndon B. Johnson and things of that nature. That I'm not I don't know what you wanted black people to do back then. Like they had to vote for the guy that was going to give them the best chance of survival in this country. There wasn't weren't very many white people who didn't refer to black people in this way and said other racist things and thought they weren't being racist. It was just that time, and for everyone to be like, oh well, Lyndon B. Johnson said this about black people and black people still voted for him. Okay, were Republicans saying nicer things about black people? I doubt it. Like, what are we doing? What's the trade-off here? And you think because you have an audio of one president saying something, we can have audio of other presidents and other Republican officials saying just as horrible things.
The Watergate
especially
tapes?
in that time. Right. What are we talking about?
This should be called the N-bomb tapes.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Like, what's the trade-off? I should vote for the Republicans because Lyndon B. Johnson said the N-word? They all said it. What do you want me to say? They voted for the guy who was giving them the best chance of survival in this country. End of story.
85, what's your thoughts about the black people at the time voting for Lyndon B. Johnson? Do you think he was the best thing for black people at the time? Like, what do you think?
No, he was the worst man on the planet, first off. My question, because you didn't have the clip that I thought you was going to play, but my question was when he said, we're going to keep these niggas voting Democrat. He said that. He said, in order to control this country, we got to keep these niggas voting Democrat.
For 200 years, that's not an actual quote. You can look it up. There's no proof he actually said that quote.
Really? There's no proof.
Really. There's no proof of that. You can look it up.
Okay, I'm going to email you the proof.
You email it to me, please.
Out of all that you just heard, you don't think he probably said that?
I know those quotes. I'm telling you the quotes that he said, yes. But this whole he'll keep niggas voting for Democrat for 200 years, not a real thing that he said. There's no proof of that.
Why would you? I mean, I've never seen this right here. Remember, the files are coming out.
I've seen this before.
The file, I have never seen this.
Okay, well, then maybe you should do
more
research.
How you seen this before? And you a Democrat?
Because I do the research.
But how are you a Democrat if you do research?
Because I know what the Republicans stand for.
Yeah.
Bro.
What?
Bro, every Republican president has had a recession. Every single one of them. Every single
they set back Americans all the time.
Bro,
you have no valid reason for being Republican other than that it sounds nice.
I got plenty of reasons of being a Republican because I was a Democrat most of my life and I haven't seen change.
I bet you 90% of the reasons why you changed are false.
Well, I would never be either.
Give me one reason why you think I changed.
Because you thought Lyndon B. Johnson said he'd keep niggas voting Democrat for 200 years.
That's irrelevant. I just told you that's irrelevant. I just told you that I was a Democrat all my life.
Yeah.
I'm black.
Oh, for sure. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, but I just told you I was a Democrat most of my life. How is that?
Right, and I'm telling you, one of the reasons you switched is because somebody else.
No, I didn't even know about that.
Please tell me why you switched.
Because I found out why Trump was actually doing what he's doing.
What is he doing? Which are mostly lies. Yes. Go ahead.
I can't stay on YouTube.
You can't stay on YouTube because it's misinformation.
No, it's not misinformation. Yes. Misinformation is new.
The deep
Go
state.
back and watch the Joe Rogan and Mark Zuckerberg podcast.
Joe Rogan and Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh yeah, you probably got a problem with Joe Rogan too.
He's a right-wing propagandist now.
Yeah,
he's a propagandist, bro.
He's you don't like Joe Rogan. Like anybody conservative. Candace Owens is conservative, but she's married to a white guy, so she's a coon. But Kamala married to a white guy is crickets when Kamala's married to a white guy.
I'm biracial. I don't care who fucks who.
Bro, at the end of the day, you guys are all gaslighting this BS because Trump won. The right man won the election. Deal with it. Let the country get better. And that's just what it is.
He crashed it last time. Why is he going to crash it this time?
How did he crash it last time?
He caused the second biggest financial crisis in history.
No, COVID.
Hey, wait. Pause, guys. Matt, who is one of K-Dot's right-hand men, so I'm going to be respectful, said, can 85 or Republicans said, quote Lincoln on his thoughts on black people that he freed. I really don't care what he said because he freed black people. Like I'm gonna pull a K-Dot move. I don't care what he said. He caused the Civil War happened so black people so slavery ended. You know what I mean? Like I don't care what he said. I don't care. I'm gonna pull a K-Dot.
It's not that I don't know. The point is Lincoln was a Republican who didn't free black people because he felt bad for black people. He was going to.
No, I know why he did it.
He was going to deport us to Liberia. That's a whole country made up in Africa. what are we talking about?
No.
Whatever he said,
Well, not
we
you
are
know what I mean.
we were black people were
Liberia
freed in
now,
this
but
country, okay? And I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter.
So
They unalived them for it.
my question to Nora: do you not care because you're Jamaican?
Yeah, I'm half Jamaican and half Moroccan, and I'm proud. But at the end of the day, I identify as a woman of color, a black woman in particular. And yeah, I don't care. And at the same time, I love Black history in this country. I know about Black history, and I support Black history. I support all. I understand. I'm not from this country. I never said my family was, but at the same time, my family was still impacted by the African diaspora. And shouts out to Jamaica because we had our freedom first, and we revolted against slave owners, so the rest of the world did the same. We were one of the first next to Haiti. So I'm proud to be a Jamaican. Like, don't even get me started. No cap. I never said I was from this country.
I'm proud about the Emancipation Proclamation. So it brings up Abraham Lincoln. That's a proud document that he spoke on. But what I would say is that as far as with Lyndon B. Johnson being recorded, I mean, anybody that get their phone tapped, they're going to say some of the most horrific things. Like, I'm pretty sure if Trump phone was tapped, Black MAGA will probably run for the hills and be like, man, I can't believe I voted for this man. So if
they would spin it. They would spin it.
Worst of the worst. So I feel like judging somebody on that, he was caught with his pants down. Like, he got caught. He got too comfortable. So I think he should get a pass on that one. I mean, because like Trump nephew said he said the N-word, but there's no real proof. So I mean, like I'm not gonna put that on Trump and say, "Oh, well, your nephew said you said it." So I give people a pass because I mean I know all of us, especially if you Black, you had that white homie that was like, "Hey, bro, just let me say it." Just let me say it one time, man. Come on.
Oh Lord. Well, guys, we need to start winding down. K-Dot, go ahead and let everybody know what. And also thank you, Southern, for the super chat tonight. Ray, you got anything to say to Southern? She's one of our
thank you, Southern.
fans.
You've been rocking with us for a long time. I appreciate it.
I know you don't like me, but you're cool.
You'll like him eventually. He's a sweetheart. But go ahead, K-Dot. Let everybody know about your chat tonight. You're live.
You guys want at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm going to be going live on TikTok, where I do a nightly discussion about the week in review for political news. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. Thursday nights we start at 9:30. Friday and Saturday we start at 8 p.m. Eastern. So you guys, if you want to jump off here, come over there. I'm allowed to bring more people up over there. You know, I can rotate people out. You can be in the chat, have your voices heard, argue with me, call me a lefty, liberal, uneducated, communist, Marxist, whatever you want. Just come on over and let's have the conversation. So that'll be a DEM_K.KDOT.
K-Dot, while you're speaking, what's your closing thoughts?
I'll say this: the first time I'm down with MAGA is because Mexicans ain't going anywhere. That's the first time I'm down with MAGA, and y'all got to stop believing and stop trying to twist all the words. Malcolm X did say that the white liberal is dangerous. He also said that the white conservative is just as dangerous. There was no picking sides of the fence here. He talked about both of them. And as far as Martin Luther King documents go, I will wait a little bit longer to see those official documents get released. And then again, like we're talking about COINTELPRO and all of the nasty things that the FBI did to try to destroy Martin Luther King's name while he was making great strides in this country by labeling him a communist and all these other things that they like to throw on people that MAGA's throwing around now, but they can't spell nor tell me what a communist is. So I'll land it there.
K-Dot, when the documents come out, we need to partner because then we can see which documents. I want to do a story on it. Let's thank you. Let's mix it up. 85. What's your closing words?
Oh man, closing words, man. I love the new party. I love what we're doing each and every week.
85.
At the end of the day, again, this is why we're here. It's about differences. It's about different opinions. And it's about collaboration with those differences and opinions. So, I think it's a very unique platform that we're starting here. I don't think anybody hates anyone per se. Maybe the political views, I would say. But that's all I really got as far as closing arguments. It's been a great show. It's been a great day overall.
What are your glasses, man?
And and basically, if you like music, man, I'm dropping a hard club joint at midnight. It's called See You Move. I'm very, very excited about it because it's one of the hottest joints I feel I've dropped in a long time. So
where do we get
Where
that
can
at?
we find it?
85 Slim on all platforms. If you got Spotify, if you got Alexa, just 85.
I'm gonna check that out right now or at midnight.
Yeah, man. At midnight I drop. It's called See You Move. That's the new one, but everything else is up there. But that's what I'm proud of. But
cool.
With that being said, I love all y'all, man. Let's do this again next week.
Jay, what's your closing thoughts, love?
I should appreciate you guys, and I feel like it's Black History Month, and I feel like it's more important now because, especially since Trump wants to teach a whitewashed, watered down version of history. So I think it's actually important. I got the Warren Moon jersey on.
Yeah, tell everybody who he was real quick.
I like that jersey.
Oh, thanks. He was the first Black quarterback in the Hall of Fame, first Black quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards for 4 different teams. First Black quarterback on all 4 of those teams. So shout out to Warren Moon, one of my favorite players. And I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you, Jay. Gray, closing thoughts.
What I would like to say is Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were both great men. And I would want to say to the right, like, Trump almost was hit up. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King were hit up. Just let the dead man rest. Y'all got to kill his memory, kill his legacy. Like, he did what he did. I mean, if he did some in his past, he was a great man. He did a lot of stuff for us. So, let's just respect his legacy. And that's the man he was, and thank him for what he did for us.
Yeah. And guys, happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. I may be against DEI, but I am for Black History Month because that's our month. Shortest month in the year. We're going to celebrate. And so every week and Thursday, we are going to be doing stories. Next week, we are going to be talking about a town that was burned down. Very, very sad. Not many people know about it. I just learned about it. And we're going to talk about how it relates to today because I was really, really shocked by what happened. 85, you're going to love the story. Sad it happened, but love who did it to them. And so we're going to remind everyone that we have to stay together as a people and know our history. And we have allies in this. So shouts out to Jay. Thank you so much for being a part of our cast. My closing words is come check us out every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday. We are going to be putting out more content. Monday and Wednesday is the Man Show hosted by the Vulgar Locker Room. So shouts out to him. Shouts out to the fellas on the cast where we have our Men's Empowerment Show. Tuesday and Thursday is our New Party. And next week, we have somebody huge coming from the right, like huge, like 1 million followers. Like y'all will probably recognize this lady. So fingers crossed she comes. I think she will because she was excited. So I'm very, very excited about that. I'm not going to drop the name yet until she comes. So thank you for everybody rocking with us. Thank you, Southern, for the super chats. Please, again, go check out K-Dot. We have a partnership with him and you guys can go and meet him in person. If you didn't like what he had to say, if you loved him and say you want to meet him, go on up there. He'll pull you up. Also, we have a special show premiering tonight at 10 p.m. It was our lunch with the new parties. Please follow us on TikTok if you aren't already. You can meet us personally there if you want to meet us. Mulatto, if you want to meet us, you can go check us out. Look what she wrote. Anyways, that's okay, honey, because us people, Caribbean people, we contributed, so it's fine. Anytime you think about one of the greatest Black actors, Sidney Poitier, he was from the Caribbean. Okay, so anyways, go check us out. We do lunch with the new parties 12 noon every day, and this special one, K-Dot was one man against like 4 MAGA talking about the historic transgender signing by Trump. K-Dot, he said his position. So shouts out to him. He wasn't the only one that was anti what happened. We had a few others. So leading up, it was a really good, I'm not just saying that, it was a very interesting live. So please go check it out. 10 p.m. it premieres. And like we always say on the new party, Gray, always vote. Always vote. Yes, and shout out to Caribbean people. Good night.
Introducing the new party. We live stream every Tuesday and Thursday p.m. Eastern Standard Time.